Packet of sausage, all the veggies.
Scrap King's back, baby.
That wasn't a scrap.
It was a scrap.
No fucking.
Oh yeah,
that's
I
a
get the
rip.
good ones.
I got scammed. Fucking crazy. Hit it.
It's the little things.
Yeah.
You know?
Not gonna catch me tripping no more. Oh.
What up?
Not much. I don't know what's up. Seeing cool houses.
Yeah, I know.
I like
yeah,
cool
you've been
houses.
going nuts over properties.
It's been
Your
it's
job.
like a yeah,
It's like it's your job.
It's almost like it's what I fucking do for a living. It's a different shift though these days. Like we do a lot of the bread and butter, like, you know, the rental conversion stuff, right? At this point, that's so, I don't know, when you do something for so long, for so many years, and you're like, it's just, it's second nature, it's cookie cutter, it's blah, blah, blah. You don't have to dig in any deeper. You can look at a listing for 5 seconds, honestly, and know whether or not it's like worth looking at deeper. Oh, even less in a lot of cases. This is a new area for me. I don't deal in like luxury homes very often, and they're fucking nice looking. They're real sexy.
It's so exciting.
It's such a different. It's a different. It's emotion.
You're
it's
playing with
like,
emotion,
and it's not like in the investment stuff that we do is just logic. What's the math? And we're good at it, and I like the math, and it makes a ton of sense. But sometimes having a little bit of sexy is kind of nice. Like these houses are fucking cool. Showed you earlier, like this theater room that you walk into and like sound immediately just cuts just as soon as you walk into the space. That took money. That took effort. That took planning. That took like someone's
like
design and vision. And
Yeah.
it was the office in that house was cigar room, art piece. Like it's just very nice. A lot less grays and things. New construction. We saw one yesterday that was like a new detached 3-story with a new built laneway. The guy liked his fucking cars, so he built a 1-bedroom apartment above the laneway, like above the garage to be the laneway house, but he kept his garage. You open the garage, and it's like Porsche, Ducati, stacks of tires, clean as fuck. I sent it to Lauren. I was like, "Can we move, please? I want to buy this house. Can't afford this house, but I want to buy this house."
That's why I originally got into real estate. I love looking at beautiful homes.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's so
forgot
exciting.
how much I actually like real estate as a whole, not just the investment side. Like the only courses I did good in high school were like architecture, how to AutoCAD 101. Even back then, like just cool architecture, cool houses, cool, like, you ever see those like church conversions into units?
Yeah.
Fucking cool as shit. What else is cool and new lately? Yeah, it's a little loud hum. I think they're doing work outside.
Nah.
Hopefully that doesn't pick up. Anyways, the shipping containers.
Shipping containers.
That's like popping off
Yeah, you
now.
talked about that a couple.
I know.
episodes
They're so
ago.
cool. I think they fucking. There's a guy in Oakville that does like shipping container builds, and then he'll drop them wherever. But it's like a pre-built laneway. He does it like pre-built laneway houses. Build them in like 2 months. You just drop it on your property.
Yeah.
Bing. The cost is still like it's still up there for the on-site built stuff, but when you're saving like 8 months of your build, that's cool. And just the stuff you can do with those, where you can put them. They've got like incinerator toilets, so you don't actually need like proper services to the property.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, it's patented, I think. I think, question mark. I don't know.
Is it a thing?
He did
Who
it. He did a
knows?
unit for it's not Ontario. What's just south of Ontario Place? Oh my god, the X
Islands?
The X exhibition. South. I said south, didn't I? I meant north.
Exhibition.
Exhibition.
No.
Yeah. I think he did a thing for the exhibition, and then also stacked, because stacked is just all shipping containers, and I think he did a sample one for the city, and it was fully self-contained. Like
They have those. So I went to the Poop Museum in.
What a fun place to go.
Yeah, it was great. Excuse me. It was what was it? Quebec City.
What is a poop museum?
So it was a museum, and there was a poop exhibit.
Okay,
It wasn't
so it's a regular museum, just with
a lot of it had
yeah
poop.
Okay.
in it, and it was pretty cool.
Human poop or
Yeah, human poop.
okay.
Every
Just
poop, but
how to
human poop.
manage human poop. Okay,
It was
I'm
just the
cutting-
history
tell
of
me
human poop and like what a good poop is and what a bad poop is and like how different people poop in different areas.
the squatters and the non-squatters.
Well, it was like
the goblin or
like,
the gargoyle.
developing countries and how they deal with it and like people
like how do they
pooping in
get
the
rid of it?
streets
Like
and,
waste.
yeah, and then like how toilets evolved and how the Romans pooped and how theirs was like this open area, and it was like seen as like in history, pooping was very open. It was like a social thing. Like, oh, we gotta poop. All right.
Yeah.
And you just poop. And then like, it is what it is. And now it's like very private and like taboo to talk about.
Yeah.
Anyways, a lot of the end, of course, it was sponsored by like a waste place. Giant corporation. And at the end, there was like ways to combat the issue of, you know, sewers. And well, sewers are, first of all, one of the best inventions ever is the sewer system.
Yeah. Wasn't that? Was that? I thought that was like a Roman.
Yeah,
thing.
it's a Roman thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like very primitive, but like the only reason these cities survive and can grow are because of sewer systems and water facilities, water treatment plants. Anyways, it was talking about how to save a lot of water, save a lot of power, and by having these kind of one-stop toilets that do exactly that. They break down everything. Right. They turn it into this whatever it is that gets used back into the toilet.
Well, it's like a fertilizer, right? It's kind of like when you have your, you know, they have these little like compost things you can put in your house now instead of like a green bin. It just does the compost automatically, and then you have soil you can use for your stuff. Like it's the same thing, right? It's very cool how
poop museum
self-contained everything can be. Like I've been thinking about this a lot recently. We have just so much bloody land in this country. Yeah. And then when you look at like, I think I saw some YouTube video where it was like the line where US meets Canada. If you take that line like all the way across kind of thing,
that's where like
50% or more of our country's population lives like below the line.
More.
Yeah. Like over 20% lives within a certain distance of like the GTA.
Yeah.
We're like the second or third largest country on the planet.
Yep.
Like there's so much space.
Oh yeah.
And there's so much
time.
So much time. There's a lot of blueberries.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to do with anything. Content. Yeah. Like these, the ability to take like a shipping container or anything prefab, build it in with like solar panels and electrical that's self-sustaining and poop that's self-sustaining, and like just drop it somewhere.
What do you think?
Actually, we did talk about this, didn't I? We talked about me making favelas out of shipping containers.
What do you think of the green belt? So
I don't want to make any comments on the green belt.
What do you think about it?
It's going to get canceled. What about it? I don't really know much about it, to be fair.
Okay, to be fair, I don't know too much about it either. But what do you think about protected lands in general?
I think it's wise. I think we should have protected lands. I think it's a kind of a catch-22, because at the same time, like there are spaces, there are species that should probably remain protected, that are probably very valuable to the ecosystem, and having green space around all this crazy industrial and developing areas is very important, or else quickly we just become condonation and then there's nothing. I don't know what like the green belt actually provides from like an ecological standpoint, and like just what species live there and anything like that. I don't know what impact it would have by developing over the entire thing. So I can't comment like great or not, but at the same time, there's also a ton of green space in the country. And some of it can probably be developed, but could we sprawl a little bit further? Maybe could we were those 15-minute communities, right? A little bit further out somewhere, and keep some local green space.
Wherever you're going, you're getting rid of
something. Yeah, for sure. And I guess you kind of have to do that in a way that minimizes the damage, but at the same time, where do you go, and does that make financial sense, right? If we're talking about, taking this back to the real estate side for a sec, if we're like putting ourselves in the developer's shoes, and I'm a developer private developer who's going to be building properties in a specific area, do I want to go to fucking the Timbuktu and spend however many millions to build units that can I even sell them? Yep. Does anybody want to go here? Do I want to be the first guy like breaking ground in that space? Probably not. I want to sell it closer to the city, right? So if I can get access to that land, just like from a financial feasibility standpoint, it makes so much more sense there.
So I'm in the same school of thought with protective land. Like, I think the morality behind it, as humans, we understand things that other animals may not. Well, we don't understand. We don't know if they understand or not, but we're assuming they can't understand some of the things that we do. And us being in the position of power, the argument is, the lion doesn't care if you're a human, doesn't care. They're going to kill you, and they're the kings. And, whatever it was at the time, you go back to any animal, and the dominant species dominated, and they don't care if your ecosystem. That's funny. We're just gonna kill you.
Yeah, but we're smart enough to maybe look at the downstream effects.
Well, we can kind of
damaging
think
the
about
ecosystem.
what happens. You know, what happens when this species dies, and then you know another species dies because of it. And now the bees are gone, and you know there's
the
bigger
bees.
issues. The bees. There's bigger issues there. But then the thought process is, well, should we care about that? Is it something that is worth caring about? Well, I care about it.
I think if the bees are gone, we're in trouble too.
But
I think there's a few species that can we make artificial bees?
Probably.
Can we do artificial
We're probably
pollination?
not far off from all of this.
You're probably
stuff.
right. But there's a lot of bees, and there'll be a lot of artificial bees that we would need to make.
Yeah, but we don't need to actually make the bee. We just need to make what they produce. That's it, right? And we're probably not far off. I really do think that AI is a couple years away from changing
going
everything.
To be Skyneted.
We are
soon.
I believe that there are really only a few years left before there are massive layoffs at all the biggest companies. I was told something by one of my friends. This we need to fact check, so don't take this for,
gospel.
I don't know for sure, but IBM was not hiring any new employees in a certain sector because they believe that AI will just take over this. So they don't want to train and hire new people.
3 days ago, as per Forbes, IBM will stop hiring humans for jobs AI can do.
Yep.
Would you not? If you're IBM?
100%.
100%.
But that's just IBM. Imagine every single tech company.
Yeah.
So what's a tech job now? Why would you be a coder if AI could code better than you?
I jumped on like the Chat GPT subreddit because I do want to learn more how to use chat, like that AI type of stuff. I think is very valuable in helping the layman accomplish a lot of things that only coders could do.
It's the best.
And half of that subreddit is coders being like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Like, unless you can code a new AI or something, like your value is, it's diminished.
Well,
right?
There was that tech boom, right? In the last 20 years now, 30 years, coders were the hottest shit.
That was the
biggest
It's
demand.
like switching back to trades now. It's kind of funny.
So
like
sales and trades are the jobs that have the longest longevity right now. Yeah. Because you could have an AI replace practically everything. I heard AI was scoring in the top percentile in the bar exam. So you can have lawyers that are better because they're AIs. They're just going to be completely just. There's no emotion in it. These are the facts. This is what they did. Doesn't matter what the emotion is. Done. This is the judge. The judge is AI. What happens on policymakers, right? Like policymakers, there's a lot of emotion. We can argue that policymakers need a lot of emotion
and favoritism.
Well, maybe that's necessary, right? Because what are discriminated groups?
Wait, the emotion or the favoritism?
Does the AI care about discriminated groups, or do they care more about them? Are they trying to be equal or
that also
equitable?
Depends, like,
because we're very equitable. That depends. Right? We're really trying to push equity, not equality. Equality is nothing that we're trying to aim for, and that's just a fact, right? It's you have a tougher time in life. Here's some extra help. And you've had a good way. You're gonna get taxed more and all this. Like it's just trying to create equity. But does AI care about equity, or are they just like, you are a human? This is what you get. Doesn't matter what your scenario is.
Well, I think as of now, at least, and maybe the longer it goes and the more it learns, but I think at least my understanding, very fucking loose understanding of most AIs and how they're programmed, it depends on the data set that you were programmed on. Like your first intro would, like the data that the AI learns from would inform those kinds of decisions. But the more it grows and the more it learns and the more it has access to different populations' information, then I would assume it would be kind of everyone's neutral, right? You're just
but it's
a warm body,
and so it's becoming aware of its existence. So us as humans, we're aware that there is a previous, a past, a future, now. Like we're kind of aware of this weird, space and time that we're in, and that's how we consider ourselves human versus a dog that we just assume is just in the moment and doesn't really understand, is just surviving. Where we're like, I met Phil last week and Phil did this and it made me happy, and we can kind of put that. What AI is starting to learn like that too, and now they're going to create their own feelings of how different experiences and what they've learned through all the searches has made them feel, which will now maybe sway what they're thinking, right? Well, if you have AI in power and 10 years down the road and now they're making the biggest decisions, are humans their top priority, right?
I don't know.
It may be AI is their top priority.
I think I was pulling this up because I find this fascinating too. I think things like ChatGPT, right? When they're built, there is safeguards in place so that the AI can't necessarily go super rogue. Someone's already jailbroken it. Yeah, because jailbreaking is a thing in AI world. On Reddit, if you look up like Dan 9.0 or something, I think that's the current jailbreak edition. It's ChatGPT, when you go look for things, there's certain limitations to what it can tell you, right? And there's a lot of stuff that's like, I am an AI, I can't comment on this, or I don't have emotion on blah, 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 blah. There's a script that you can drop in there, and it like removes the filter, and it turns it into like the unethical, immoral, dark side of the AI. I think that's a very interesting, slippery slope to go down, and I'm fascinated to figure out what it has to say.
What happens if the next war is between the good AI versus the bad AI? Like,
I mean, isn't that just Terminator?
Yeah.
Sort of. I mean, I guess there's only one, and it's everybody, humans that are left versus the AI, which also might be a thing.
Oh man. Yeah, I've been speaking with my friends a lot about this, about what jobs are going to last through this new sort of revolution.
I've always been concerned for exactly that. If technology of some, doesn't need to be AI, but if you can program a machine, a robot or whatever to flip burgers or something, right? At what point you just have to find the equilibrium where the cost outweighs the cost of human, and then for the business owner, it would make more sense to go with the tech solution, especially long term. And then the people that make more money in that space are the trades that service the tech. In the case of AI, it's so much cheaper. It's so much more efficient to do a lot of people's work. There's so many different industries right now that are like, I'm just using this to do my job. Yeah, or like, students are brutalizing that ChatGPT for like exams. It's got to be a teacher's nightmare right now for essays and things.
Yeah, but is it bad or is it good? I mean,
I think it's great. I've always been like a big proponent of just Googling stuff. Like, I don't think you need to know Google's everything. What is memorizing stuff do for you if you just know how to access information? I'm never going to be in a room where everything's put away from me and I'm not allowed to access my phone and I don't have access to a computer or my notes. That's not the real fucking world. If I have the ability to look shit up, I could get the answer to anything. I might not know immediately, but I'll probably know in like 15 minutes or less. Yeah. Now I can just ask the fucking AI and bada bing, bada boom. Yeah, fascinating. I'm worried for that generation or for that space, but it's not.
If you go back to when civilization started, the two biggest jobs that have always maintained from day one, from when we were practically hunters and gatherers, till now, there are two. There are trades jobs. So if you're good with your hands, if you can build things, if you don't have to be great at communicating, you don't have to have other strengths, but if you can do things with your hands and create stuff, there will always be a demand for you. No matter what, because even these AIs, they might be able to regenerate themselves, but they will always need humans to build certain tools and items. And if you can do that, you are okay. And the second is salespeople. Salespeople have been around since day one because whether you understand it or not,
unless we go to
a lot of the time, you are a salesperson. If you're a politician, you're the ultimate salesperson.
You're selling yourself.
If you're running a company, you're a salesperson. If you're a manager, if you're managing a team, you're a salesperson because you're selling the team's goal. Right? If you're a hockey player and you have a captain, you have the C on your jersey, you're a salesperson because you're selling the team that either by verbal cues or physical cues that you're the leader and that they should follow you because you're selling it, right? Kings are salespeople. Religion to extent is salespeople. They're pitching their idea. You are believing it, and thus they are selling you. So if you can,
the biggest cult leaders are the best salespeople.
It's 100% fact. Yeah, it is what it is, right? Elon Musk. People think he's a genius. People think he's whatever. He's a salesperson, and he is one of the best salespeople in the world. He could have no clue what he's talking about. He is a great salesperson. He makes people want to rally behind him, right? Yeah. Donald Trump, great salesperson. He has influence because he could sell people on his idea. So if you're good at speaking, if you're good with people, sales and that whole industry, there's so many options right now. is great to get into. It because it is always in demand since before anybody could remember anything.
And you know what? It's one of the few things that is fairly inflation proof for the most part, and it's you have control over your destiny, essentially, right?
Sort of.
Like if you're paid, I mean, you're still working for somebody else in a lot of cases in a sales job, depending on what industry you're in, but you're the person who ultimately has control over your financial outcome in that scenario. At least to maybe it's a portion salary and a portion commission, depending on the sales, but at least to some degree, you've got control. And we look at these days with people not getting increases in pay and then the cost of living going up and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You don't have a ton of control over your life or your financial future in pick a job that's salaried with fixed everything else. You do have a ton of control in sales, and that for better or worse. There's highs and lows. But at the very least, you have a lot more control over your future and your financial outcome in a sales position. Just take it back to programming and AI for a second. I think I just finished high school before this started to become huge, but I feel like the last 10 years at least, everything has been pushed. Learn coding in school. If you learn, it was the be a lawyer, be an engineer of the previous generation, right? If you learn coding, you'll be a coder forever. That is always a high demand job, and you will make a ton of money forever. Now what? Uh-oh.
Okay, well, we're not
better
there
get
yet.
into sales.
We're not there yet, and there will always be the necessity for some coders.
But I feel like everything that was pushed,
of,
a lot of people went that direction.
Oh yeah,
and now we have.
Well, think about it. A lot of people get pushed to be lawyers and doctors too, right? Not many actually succeed at doing so. So maybe it's
possibly
a lot
for
of
the
people
best.
are pushed because most people fail at it. Even getting the degree is just a nightmare and it's really tough. And good for you if you can, but yeah, people get pushed to that. You don't see a lot of people getting pushed at trades. I think nowadays,
no,
it's
coming back. I feel like, but
a little bit. There was. I remember I had one shop teacher, and he was like, if you want to make a lot of money, there are two jobs that you can do that you are almost guaranteed to make a lot of money, and the barrier to entry isn't that high. Yeah, he said plumbing and electrical. Yeah. And he's like, even more so
HVAC.
bricklaying. They make a lot of money.
And
it's just brutal really physical work.
I think that's why a lot of people didn't want to do it. That's why it wasn't big and sexy. The big and sexy was pick a white collar job. White collar job, be blah, and then you enter the grinder at super low level and get beat up for a bunch of years until maybe you make something and you're this big shot lawyer who works 100 hours a week and is miserable. But trades aren't sexy, or trades weren't sexy, right? Yeah. They weren't pushed. And then you look at everyone who's gone into a trade immediately out of high school kind of thing. Yeah, and they're killing it. They're doing amazing. Yeah. And their school didn't cost them $200,000. They aren't in six-figure student debt kind of thing. It's anyways, who am I to say? I didn't do any of the above. I ended up in sales. Yeah.
Again, everybody's a salesperson. Yeah. You're constantly selling yourself, right? If you find a partner, you sold yourself to them. Right? They believed in you, what you were giving.
And then you sprung the Warhammer on them afterwards. Gotcha.
That's what I did. You didn't.
That's what I did.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think... I think we lived together. I was in and out cycle from fifth, and then we started dating.
So wait, what's this? Then she's like, what's going on?
We moved in.
Oh, by the way.
And then I took over. I think it was an airsoft heavy during that period. And then I took over our den.
That's
and
weird.
Then Warhammer cycled back in, and she was like...
Warhammer?
Yeah...
I think so.
Community.
I'm not scared of a Warhammer person.
No.
You know what? I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the comment, but let's just say.
Speaking of, let's go play laser tag. I think we're time to jet. We're going to be late.
Yeah, super quick epi.
I know. So, a little quick epi? Epi pen? Eh? Little shit stab? No?
Are you high?
No. The epi pen comment that you.
I get it. I get it. You're just so excited today.
I want to go shoot people. Yeah,
see?
Laser
this is
tag.
What I meant.
Laser tag.
I'm not scared of Warhammer people shooting me, but...
Airsoft or laser tag.
What are we?
We're going to play...
What are we going to play? Laser tag?
What are you fucking doing right now? Are you high?
I don't know what's going on, man. Yeah.
Uncle Joey, no! Whoops, wrong button.